What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including WWE making this one of the biggest Smackdowns ever. This Easter egg reveals WWE had AJ Lee's return planned months ago. Nikki Bella calls out Wade Barrett. Sad news for Kurt Angle. Brock Lesnar re-signs with WWE. The next main roster call-up, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's see the intro and get straight into our first story. Now, first story looks at WWE is making this the biggest Smackdown ever. Our top story today takes a look ahead at tonight's historic Smackdown, and now it's been reported that fans can expect one more huge surprise on the show. Of course, if you don't want to know that rumor, please skip ahead to the next story in the timestamps below. Now, tonight's Smackdown from Chicago is expected to sell out, and stars confirmed for the show include John Cena and CM Punk. There's been a major movement when it comes to ticket sales since Punk was announced, and naturally, the rumored WWE return of AJ Lee has heavily influenced interest in the show. But there's another surprise coming tonight, as according to Fightful Select, former WWE champion Brock Lesnar could be returning on the show tonight. A major WWE star is expected to be in Chicago, and very well could be on what looks to be a huge Smackdown. Fightful Select has learned that Brock Lesnar has been scheduled to travel to Chicago this week. Friday's episode of Smackdown emanates from Chicago, and sources in WWE that we spoke to said that he was discussed as a possibility for the show. According to WrestleVotes, it's slated to be John Cena's last Smackdown. The two are scheduled to compete against one another at WWE Wrestlepalooza on September 20th, although it isn't announced. And with the show also being Cena's final ever appearance on the Blue brand, it's entirely possible that WWE writes Cena off. Cena's next confirmed WWE appearance isn't until September 15th's Raw, and he's expected to be a Raw star moving forward. Hopefully WWE is able to deliver a memorable show tonight, as expectations are through the absolute roof. So much so that I'm staying up for Smackdown tonight, even if it does finish at 3 AM. Now, whilst the show is relying heavily on star power and the rumored return of AJ Lee, the rest of the show also needs to excel, especially after last week's show received a record low ratings. And it's worth noting that last week's show aired on tape delay in the US, but nevertheless, the quality of the Blue brand has been critiqued for some time now, and some are urging WWE and Triple H to freshen up the writing team when it comes to the show. Next up, the real reason for AJ Lee's WWE return. Now, we're just hours away from AJ Lee potentially returning to WWE. This has been a return that's been well anticipated for over 3,000 days. And now a new report has surfaced as to why exactly WWE wants AJ Lee back. According to a new report from WrestleVotes Radio, this isn't the first time in which WWE have attempted to bring back the popular star, but they feel like bringing her back now would generate major buzz ahead of Wrestlepalooza on ESPN. We are told this isn't the first time WWE has tried to bring her since CM Punk returned in November 2023, but this is the first time the company has pushed for it in such a big way, as they feel like a return could generate significant buzz heading into the ESPN debut. This is the first time they've really pushed for her to come back to make a decision that they wanted to hear the S word, and they got it, so she's on her way back. And the buzz surrounding AJ's potential return tonight is insane, and it's easily compared to the night of Survivor Series in 2023, when it was heavily rumored that CM Punk was returning to the company. Now, there is concern from some fans that WWE are just trying to swerve everyone, and it's not actually going to be AJ Lee returning. This wouldn't be just a massive blow, this would be a massive risk, and it's unlikely to be the case. Several reputable outlets have reported that AJ is on her way back to the company, and the backlash that WWE would receive if AJ doesn't appear tonight would be astronomical. Next up, fans have spotted a huge Easter egg. Now, is it possible that WWE have been teasing an AJ Lee return as far as back as May 2025? Well, a lot of fans on social media have noticed something rather interesting from an episode of Raw all the way back in May of 2025. During a backstage segment between the Vision, there's a board in the background, and on that board says the words, "Light It Up." Now, this is of course a lyric in AJ's iconic theme song. The framing of the shot is worth discussing, as a placement of the board, which stands towards the middle of the frame, seems rather deliberate and calculated. The idea that WWE had planned this out as far as back as May is crazy to think about, but it's rather interesting that the tease appeared in a segment featuring Seth Rollins, a name that AJ will be feuding with if she returns to WWE programming. In the Triple H era of WWE, he's been prone to tease returns and debuts, and it wouldn't come as too much of a surprise to see more prior Easter eggs surface in the coming days and weeks when it comes to AJ's WWE comeback. But this is an awesome Easter egg that fans noticed. We can't believe it's taken several months to see this. Next up, Nikki Bella calls out Wade Barrett. There's drama in WWE between Nikki Bella and commentator Wade Barrett. The issues began when Barrett, during the pre-show of Clash in Paris, had this to say in relation to Nikki Bella. Nikki is desperate to prove she still has it against the new generation that have changed the game. Now, these comments were obviously in kayfabe, and they made sense coming from a heel commentator. Unfortunately, Nikki hasn't reacted well to the comments, and according to Nikki on her podcast, she wants to talk to Barrett regarding his remarks. I would like to have a conversation with Wade Barrett. He avoided me on Monday, which was shocking, because he always comes up and says hi to me. He tried to avoid making eye contact with me in the hallway, and I understand why you want to be a heel commentator and stuff, but there's one thing of, Michael Cole does this beautifully. And Nikki Bella would go on to praise Michael Cole, and she added that she was getting ready in the locker room when she heard Barrett's comments. This is why Michael Cole is one of the greatest commentators. He knows how to take a life story and put into what we do, because that is real. We don't go out there as robots or superheroes. We are actually professional athletes, and we go through real things, and we have to put that as part of it. Honestly, that stuff really doesn't bother me. I get it, I was watching the pre-show, and I saw what Wade was saying about me in the pre-show. I'm sitting there getting ready in the locker room and like, oh, okay, that's fine. Barrett has since taken to X to rebut Nikki's claims that he avoided her at Raw, and even stated that the two said hello to each other at the show. I had no idea Nicola felt this way, and I'm happy to have this conversation anytime she likes. I wish she brought it up when we said hello to each other at Raw, rather than via her podcast. I don't understand the avoiding claim at all, simply not true. This whole drama seems really messy and uncalled for, and could have easily been solved with an offline face-to-face conversation. In all honesty, it just sounded like Nikki Bella wanted some juicy content for a podcast. Speaking of juicy content, Ronda Rousey shoots on WWE. Ronda Rousey appeared on the Laps Fan podcast this week, and Rousey had less than flattering comments to make when it came to her 2 WWE runs. One of the issues Rousey had with her run was working with Alexa Bliss at 2018 SummerSlam, and according to Rousey, it was quote-unquote ridiculous that she had to face Bliss on a pay-per-view. The fact that they had me fighting Alexa Bliss at all was effing ridiculous. And you want to know why they had me against Alexa Bliss? Because she has the most merch sales at the time. On that side, like, what the F? Like, that's your decision-making process? Fans are quite rightly calling out Rousey for these comments, as it shows a basic lack of understanding of the pro wrestling business. At the time, Bliss was one of the most popular acts on the show, and she was practically the face of the women's division in WWE. But it's not just fans who have responded to Rousey's comments. AEW's MJF has clapped back at Rousey, and even Bliss herself has responded via X. At this point, does Rousey even have any friends left in WWE? Next up, a recent WWE PLE was a flop. A Clash in Paris received mostly positive reviews from fans, but according to Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer Radio, the show failed to deliver in terms of viewership. He claimed that Smackdown, which obtained record-low viewership, somehow eclipsed the overall views for Clash in Paris, and the PLE didn't even make the top 10 for the week in any country. When we look at the country to country, the one thing in these countries where WWE is the strongest, the Smackdown show, which did not do great in the US at all, actually did almost a record low, but the Smackdown show on Friday night beat Clash in Paris in every one of those markets. And I did not find one market. I could be, I didn't check every single country in the world, but I checked every major wrestling country, and there wasn't one where Clash in Paris even made the top 10 for the week Smackdown made in a couple of countries. But the PLE aired on different platforms including Netflix and Peacock, so it's hard to fully determine whether the show really was a success. It also came on at an earlier time, so maybe people weren't watching live. Next up, sad news for Kurt Angle. Now, there is major concern for WWE legend Kurt Angle after his appearance on The Undertaker's podcast. The WWE Hall of Famer discussed his current health and well-being, and despite Angle saying he feels good, he noted that he has motor skill problems and he can't feel either of his little fingers. Yeah, I feel pretty good. The only thing that bothers me now is I have motor skill problems. My hands shake because my neck is so bad, and there's nothing I can do about it. And so I have a hard time. I get pain going down my arms, my pinkies. I can't feel either one of my pinkies. They're gone. So I just have a lot of functional problems. It just sucks. There's nothing I can do. I tried stem cell, I tried disc replacement. There's just nothing. I have to deal with it. Angle wrestled back in 2019, and it's easy to see why Angle has repeatedly shut down any rumors that he could potentially return to the ring. Next up, Brock Lesnar re-signs with WWE. There's been a lot of confusion surrounding Brock Lesnar's WWE status. Some have claimed that Lesnar has re-signed with WWE, whilst others have claimed that Lesnar is working his existing contract, which he signed a number of years ago. But now in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, they provided an update on this, and according to them, WWE have indeed signed Lesnar to a new contract. Lesnar actually just got signed a new contract to return. He was getting paid on his prior contract long after they stopped using him, but that deal did expire and he was actually a free agent for months until the new deal was signed. They couldn't extend the prior deal due to injury like with others because he wasn't injured and it wasn't their choice not to use him. They were likely very confident that Lesnar would sit tight and not entertain an AEW offer, or because of the allegations in the lawsuit that they were confident that Tony Khan would not make a pitch to him, nor Lesnar make a pitch to Khan when he was a free agent. Now, it's likely that Lesnar's deal is similar to his prior deals in WWE, and this deal will see Lesnar work selected dates or work all major shows such as the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. And finally, the next main roster call-up revealed. Our final story today takes a look at the next potential main roster call-up in WWE. According to WrestleVotes Radio, Tony D'Angelo could be on his way to the main roster, and his gimmick will slightly be refined before he debuts on Raw or Smackdown. Sources indicate Tony D'Angelo's name has been circulating within creative recently, with some expecting him to debut on the main roster before year's end. His mobster-style gimmick is expected to remain at this time, though it will likely be slightly refined before it hits Raw or Smackdown. D'Angelo is said to have a strong work ethic and standout personality traits that many within the company speak highly of. D'Angelo was heavily rumored to debut at Clash in Paris this weekend. There were significant rumors that the NXT star was going to debut as part of Seth Rollins' Vision stable, but obviously that didn't happen. It's definitely time for D'Angelo to be called up to the main roster. However, with that being said, there's a lot of discourse on social media relating to his Don gimmick and how it's going to work on the main roster. The report that WWE will be refining the gimmick is great to hear, however it's unclear how exactly they can modify the gimmick without stripping everything away that got him over with the NXT audience in the first place. But there you have it folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.